You go down into the Dinosaur Museum by escalator, and the room opens up like an underground airport for creatures that disappeared millions of years before Japan existed. Then you notice something strange. Some of the names around you are not from Mongolia, America or China. They're from Fukui Prefecture. And that is the surprise of this area. 1 hour you're looking at dinosaur bones from Katsuyama. Later, you're walking through a Zen monastery founded in 1244. Then you're standing inside one of Japan's 12 remaining original castle keeps, before heading out to sea cliffs made from volcanic rock that formed around 13 million years ago. This is the kind of Japan I've come to appreciate more the longer I've lived here. Fukui sits on the Sea of Japan side between the Kansai region and Kanazawa, and the Hokuriku Shinkansen has made it easier to reach from Tokyo. For most visitors, it works best as a 1 or 2 night detour rather than a quick tick on the way to somewhere else. And if you plan it properly, it gives you something rare. A Japan trip that still feels broad but not crowded. Start with Katsuyama, because this is where Fukui makes its first hard turn. The Fukui Prefectural Dinosaur Museum is not a small local museum with a few bones in glass cases. The main exhibition hall has 51 full-scale dinosaur skeletons, and it is connected to a region where dinosaur fossils have been found since 1989. If you're travelling with kids, this is one of the easiest recommendations in the prefecture. If you're travelling without children, don't dismiss it too quickly. The museum is serious, spacious and well put together. It feels less like a theme park and more like a reminder of Japan's history that doesn't begin with temples, castles or samurai. Go far enough back and even that story disappears under your feet. From Fukui Station, you take the Echizen railway to Katsuyama, then continue by taxi or community bus. The museum normally opens from 9 in the morning to 5 in the afternoon, with longer summer holiday hours, and it's usually closed on the 2nd and 4th Wednesday outside the summer holiday period. Check the official calendar before you go, because this is not a place you want to reach and find closed. Now let's change the pace completely. This is where Fukui gets more interesting, because after the fossils and the big exhibition halls, you can go to Eiheiji Temple, one of the 2 head temples of Soto Zen. Eiheiji was founded by Zen master Dogen in 1244, and it's still an active training monastery with more than 100 monks practicing there. That one fact changes how you should experience it. You're not only walking around old buildings, you're passing through a place where the daily routine still matters. The temple sits in the mountains outside Fukui city. There are wooden corridors, tatami rooms, stairways, cedar trees, and halls where visitors move quietly through the official routes. It doesn't have the same feeling as many famous temples in Kyoto, where the camera often comes out before the place has had a chance to register. At Eiheiji, you slow down because the place almost makes you. And this is where I think Fukui earns its place on an itinerary. Anyone can add another famous temple to a Japan trip. The harder thing is finding a place where the atmosphere hasn't been flattened by the fact that everyone else is also trying to experience it at the same time. Admission to Eiheiji is 700 yen for adults, and the usual visiting hours are from 8:30 in the morning to 4:30 in the afternoon, with admission ending earlier. The temple does note that times can change according to monastic circumstances, so check before going, especially if you are planning your day tightly. From Eiheiji, the story turns again. Maruoka Castle is smaller than many people expect, but that's part of the point. It was built in 1576, and its keep is one of only 12 surviving original castle keeps in Japan. It is also the only original castle keep in the Hokuriku region. This is not a polished concrete reconstruction with a modern museum hidden inside. It's compact, steep and physical. The stairs can feel more like ladders, and the whole building reminds you that a castle keep was not made for comfort. It was made for defence, height and control. Now let's go to a different part of Fukui. Tojinbo is a 1 kilometre stretch of cliffs in Sakai City formed by volcanic activity around 13 million years ago. The rock breaks into vertical columns and rough edges above the Sea of Japan, with waves hitting below and the wind coming straight off the water. This is the point in the trip where you remember Fukui is a coastal prefecture, not just a place of temples and museums. Stay on land and walk the cliffside paths, or take a sightseeing boat if conditions allow. The sightseeing boat rides take about 30 minutes, and regular operation runs from April to October, with shorter winter hours from November to March. Adult tickets are 1800 yen, but the sea decides where the boats run. And that's not just a practical note. At Tojinbo, the weather is part of the place. If you're making a video in your head while you travel, Tojinbo gives you the wide shot, Eiheiji gives you the quiet interior, and the Dinosaur Museum gives you scale, while Maruoka gives you age. Fukui is working because each stop changes the texture of the day. Then there is Mizushima, which should not be squeezed into every itinerary. Mizushima is a small uninhabited island off the tip of the Suruga Peninsula, reached by ferry during the summer beach season, usually from about July to late August. The ferry from the Suruga side takes about 10 minutes, and official tourism information lists adult return fares from about 1500 yen. I've been going there every year for the past 10 years, and prices have slightly gone up over time, so check prices before you go. This is a summer add-on, not a year-round must-do. That distinction matters because a lot of Japan planning goes wrong when people see a bright blue water photo and forget to ask whether the place actually works in their season. In the right months, Mizushima gives you clear water, white sand, and a very different version of Fukui. Outside that window, it shouldn't be the reason that you build the trip. Now to the food, because this is where Fukui becomes easier to remember. Start with sauce katsu-don. It's a bowl of rice topped with pork cutlets dipped in sauce. Not the egg-bound katsu-don many visitors are expecting. It's simple, filling and direct, the sort of meal that makes sense after a day of trains, buses and walking. The other dish I would look for is Echizen oroshi soba. It's cold soba served with grated daikon, dashi, bonito flakes and green onion. The daikon gives it a sharpness that cuts through the noodles, and people in Fukui eat it even in winter. That tells you it's not just a refreshing summer dish, but it's part of the local food culture. If you come in winter, seafood becomes a bigger reason to visit, especially Echizen crab. But treat crab as seasonal, not as a permanent promise. If that's one of your main reasons for coming, then plan the timing around it. For a simple Fukui plan, use Fukui City as your base for Eiheiji, Maruoka Castle, Tojinbo and the Dinosaur Museum. With one full day, choose 2 strong stops rather than rushing through all 4. The Dinosaur Museum and Eiheiji make a good contrast. Add the coast, slow down for food, and consider Mizushima only if you're travelling in summer and can make the timing work. And that's the practical way to think about Fukui. Don't treat it as one small stop. Treat it as a compact region where the subject keeps changing. Dinosaurs under Katsuyama, monks at Eiheiji, an original castle keep at Maruoka, volcanic cliffs at Tojinbo, a summer island off Suruga, and a bowl of oroshi soba at the end of the day. That's why Fukui is worth looking at before you default to the same Japan route as everyone else.